failure. We had a massacre at a place called Port Arthur 17 years ago, and there have been none since.
0 gun massacres? Hold on. Did gun control actually work?
It stopped one thing. That could also be a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, it was just their mass shootings disappeared.
But there were so few of them. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo?
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo?
Yes. Mass shootings were rare anyhow.
Exactly. They probably barely had a massacre before 1996.
There were about 13 in the previous 18 years.
In the 18 years before Port Arthur, there were 13 mass shootings.
Yes.
Almost one a year.
Yes, I was unaware they had that many. Mass being what, more than 2 people at a time?
More than 4.
More than 4. Okay.
Whoop-de-doo.
But perhaps there were other non-whoop-de-doo side effects.
The homicide rate involving the use of guns has declined significantly by factors of up to 50 and 60%. And the incidence of youth suicides involving guns has declined dramatically.
Whoop-de-doo.
Help me out here, Philip.
Homicides with guns went down. Suicide with guns also went down. 0 mass shootings.
What did happen? Australia still has murders, rapes, and robberies, last I checked.
Unless you can get rid of 100% of crime, it's not worth doing at all.
Well, put it this way. It's illegal to have crack cocaine anywhere in the United States. Do you think if somebody really wants it, they can get their hands on crack cocaine in America?
So unless we can completely get rid of drugs, there's no point in having drug laws at all.
Let me think about that for a minute. Well, I guess effectively, it doesn't work.
You can't argue with Philip. Even his logic is bulletproof.
Well, let me put it to you this way. There are more drownings in backyards where they have pools. If they don't have a pool, there are no drownings in backyards, okay? So the U.S. has a very high number of guns. Therefore, there's going to be more chances for somebody to be killed with a gun.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's my point.
Right. Right? Right. What's going on, y'all? What an idiot that guy is. So, as you can tell, we're gonna talk about some guns. 7 mass shootings in 7 days around the country. The 2 biggest ones being yesterday, 10 people in Colorado, and the day before, I believe, maybe 2 days before, 8 people in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Oh, don't mind my collection in the background. I just figured out this would be an appropriate place to have it, to have this type of conversation. So yeah, I mean, you know, as you can see, I'm an enthusiast. You know, me and Ronald Reagan, you know, we do our thing out here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so look, let's jump right into it, man. I feel like this got something to do with politics, as far as politicians outlawing assault rifles, as they call them, as far as them making, you know, background checks a mandatory thing. Let's just talk about all of it. So, let's start off with y'all opinion. What do y'all think? First of all, let's start with the video that we watched. Since Baron Cranberry sounds familiar, but I don't think I know this guy. I said he's from the UK, where they knife you. I think you're talking about like the Prime Minister of Australia. Yeah, they still kill people, and over there they still have murders and rapes and stuff. But I don't know if you was able to watch the whole video or not. But when you have you know, a crazy mass shooting, like a massacre, then you change the law. Yeah, and then you have 0 since then. I mean, it's hard to argue with. So you have suicides by gun go down by, they said significantly, they didn't give a percentage. But other homicides, regular homicides by guns, go down between 50 and 60%. Man, it's hard to argue with that. With the just with the sheer numbers. How I feel about it personally, it's hard to argue with the numbers, and that's why that guy that he was interviewing, the American, that's why he got tripped up because like he was essentially was saying that you know it's either all progress or no progress. You know what I'm saying? Which that's not how progress works. I mean, if you especially in this country, you want to talk about civil rights and you know rights for gays and all that stuff. Yeah, it's definitely not an all or nothing type thing. Um, I want to find out how many people. So they had so in Australia in 1996 they had a AR-15 style 223 massacre where 35 people was killed at one location, and they banned guns after that. Right, so they banned guns and not having like 0 cents. Come on now, not one. Like we're averaging over the past week one a day. You know what I'm saying? Like we're averaging hundreds per year, except for last year when everybody was on house arrest essentially. Derek, what's up? Don't be speaking to people, not me, nigga. So yeah, so look, for those of you, I mean, I'm a, you know, I'm a gun guy. I'm a liberal gun guy though, so a rarity, I suppose. Um, but like some stuff just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? When you got these wild people killing, like just tons and tons of people, you know what I'm saying, at grocery stores or at uh, you know what I'm saying, nightclubs, schools, you know, schools a bunch of times, churches, like all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? uh, so like clearly some changes had to be made, but the what it's going to come down to is what are those changes? What do you agree with? What don't you agree with? Baron asked me, "Do you support a ban on all guns?" No. Um, I I've said this before. I wish guns was never invented, ever, ever. Like I just wish it wasn't a thing. Uh, you know, because you have a lot less cowards around. But do I support a ban on all guns? No, because um, you know, bad guys, if you want to call them that, are still going to have guns. You know what I'm saying? Still going to be people that do illegal stuff. So on all guns, no, 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 I don't agree with that. But anybody around in the '90s can't say that when it was a gun ban here in America that mass shootings was not cut down like a crazy amount. Um, the only one that sticks out most notably was, of course, Columbine. That was in 1999, I believe. 1999, I believe. So, but before that, tell me of another high-profile mass shooting. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like mass shooting thing. Uh, Barrett said Virginia Tech shooting was the worst mass shooting in history, and he used Glocks. The worst mass shooting in American history. The one in Australia is the worst in world history. 35 people. That's the record. Um, is that so? That doesn't mean that. So what are you saying, Baron? Are you saying that so it doesn't matter? Like so there should be no bans or issues on guns at all? Like you should do nothing? Is that what your opinion is? That we should just do nothing? And if that's not your opinion, what should we do then? That's what the question I'm asking to everybody else in here, not just him. Derek, if you still here, Angel, Chanel, I thought it was somebody else. But whoever in here, what are your opinion? What should we do? Or should we just do nothing? Like I said, like it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that something got to be done. You know what I'm saying? Derek said there needs to be stricter laws and better background checks. Um, what do you mean stricter laws? Like, I mean, it's already laws on, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. It's already laws on people with criminal records, with certain mental handicaps or disabilities. Um, um, so what do you mean, or like what do you mean by stricter laws? Barron said, I think it should be a ban all or nothing. How are you going to do that though? All right, so let's say, and Chanel agree with you and said all or nothing. So let's say that let's say they implement a turn in all of your guns thing. One, would you comply? And two, would you comply knowing that the street guys are not going to comply or the criminals are not going to comply? So they said all or nothing, which is what you support. If they said it, will you turn in your guns then? This is my question to you guys. Andrew said, you're not going to stop the crazy even with stricter laws. Um, the guy in Colorado, he bought his gun 5 days before. Um, uh, normal. He went and did his background check. Went to a store. He didn't get it from some guy in the street. It wasn't a gun that was reported stolen. It was registered to him. You know what I'm saying? It was it was his gun. He bought it legally, and yet he still 5 days later went and had a mass shooting. Some people support the when you buy a gun, you got to wait a week or something like that. So even if that was the case, this would have been him waiting a week, and the first day he was able to have it, he went out and shot 10 people. Barron said buyback program, 2K per firearm. Um, I think it's unrealistic, but I think a lot of people will turn in firearms. Would you though? That's my question. Would you? So you saying if it was a buyback program, if they offer you 2K per firearm, you would turn in all of your weapons if you have weapons allegedly. Chanel said nope. So even if so, by your own logic, even if it was an all or nothing, even if it was an all or nothing, if they said turn them all in, you still wouldn't turn yours in. So that's what other people are going to be thinking too. So then what's the point then? So we should just do nothing because everybody's not going to comply. Angel said it's probably turning most in for two K each. Uh, I think they would. I don't know if they're going to offer that much. I don't know what Australia offered, but 2K is a lot of money, and I just don't see it happening. Andrew said, I probably turn in most of them for 2K, but not all. Nobody is giving them all back. So what's the point? That's my thing. So if you're a person that have, um, you know, five, four, let's say a realistic number, three or so AR-15s. So what's to stop somebody? And I'm like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate. All right, so and so got got a couple AR-15s. He's not going to sell them. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna hold on to them. Um, most people are going to turn theirs in. Like, what's to stop them from? I don't know. Like it just, I don't know. Like, what's the point then? Because it's still going to be. Let's say he get in the jam and now he want to sell his AR-15. So then just another gun on the street, right? Like it's just if you're not going to turn them all in, then what's the point? For that type of a response is what I'm saying. Derek said, "I'm not turning in mine. It's going to go. It's going. It's going to hard to control, regardless to if changes are made or not." I agree. Uh, Baron said, "For 2K, yes, but not mandatory." So they say it's mandatory to turn it in, and you'll get 2K. Like, it's mandatory though. You know what I'm saying? Like either so you'll do it for the money, which is fine. Which is fine. I get that. Besides that though, there's no other things they could do to get you to turn in your guns, or you don't think any action should be taken? So all or nothing on the gun ban is fine, but what action should be taken then to stop mass shootings, or you just don't care about mass shootings, or and I don't even mean that in a harsh way, like you just don't care, but like, do you just not care? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you just not care about the mass shootings? Are you not going to worry about it because it doesn't affect you? You know what I'm saying? Until it affects you or whatever, or like what? Like what should be done about the mass shootings then? Chanel said, "We are our own army. I'm not with it." Okay, okay. I can I can understand that. I can respect the notion. Um, I can even agree with you as far as turning the guns in and all of that stuff. Turning them all in. So anything, well, I guess not. You and Barron said all or nothing. Derek said 2K per firearm is unrealistic. I go buy a bunch of cheap weapons and flip them. Exactly, exactly. Or just to get the heat off me, I'm gonna turn all mine in so that they check me off the list for everything that's registered in my name, and then I'm gonna take the money that I got and I'm gonna go buy them from somebody who didn't turn theirs in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always it's always a flip opportunity. That's actually pretty good. Barron said, in the meantime, I'm going to be strapped 30 rounds or nothing. Steph Curry. Look, look. I'm not. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not telling you what to do. I just want y'all opinions on, you know, what I'm saying what should be done. Like, so what you're saying is all or nothing, and nothing else should be done as far when it comes to mass shootings or just anything else. That's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me because of course you can have mass shootings. What was that? Was that last year? I think last year that video was a couple years old, but last year, if I'm not mistaken, Australia did have a mass shooting, but that's still one since 1996. I think it was last year where some guy went around killing a bunch of like Muslim people, I believe. Um, he like live streamed it on YouTube or something. Um, so like still, like think about the Swiss, right? So the Swiss got, just like Chanel was saying, the Swiss got um, they got their army, and then they have private citizens, um, army type of a situation where people go and you train and you keep your guns and you make sure you go often enough to make sure that you are uh, you know qualified. I want to say it's like a responsibility test. So you had to come in, saying they you shoot and make sure that you can shoot and make sure you can handle guns properly, etc. Do y'all agree with something like that? Like, now, when the last time y'all heard about anything happening in the Swiss besides them making army knives? Yet their citizens are armed, but they don't have the same mass shootings as us. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be something. Is what I'm fixing at. Like, got to be something, uh, some reason behind it, some reason of why it keeps occurring, some reason of why nothing is being done about it. Like, nothing to be done about it. Like, come on now. Baron said it's not crazy though. It's not crazy though. So I'm not really understanding when it comes to taking my guns away. Honestly, um, or I'm not crazy though. Sorry, I'm not crazy though. So I'm not really understanding when it comes to taking away my gun, taking away my guns. Um, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Like if I'm not on any of this list of checks that's currently out there, Why would I have to turn in my guns? I can understand that. I can respect that. I can respect that. So not even like not even like for a greater good type of a thing. Like there's nothing. Then he says the boulder shooting dude was seeing and hearing stuff. That's not normal. Um, he was on the FBI watch list. Look, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? So without doing nothing, like they got right, all of that stuff. Saying he clearly had mental issues, and yet he was still able to go into a gun store, pass a background check. Apparently, even been on the FBI watch list, pass a background check, get his gun, go home and play with it. His siblings said they saw him playing with a gun. Uh, you know, playing with a gun like a toy. They if you're familiar with guns, they're like, oh, it's a machine gun or whatever. And then you go out and commit a mass shooting. So all right, y'all feel all or nothing about the turn in or the ban or whatever, but y'all still not telling me what should be done. Y'all ain't giving me nothing as far as uh, what laws should be changed or how do you implement keeping people that have mental issues to not have access to guns. Then you have stuff like not Parkland. What was the kids, like the little kids in the Northeast, like at the school, what is it, Sandy Hook, I think it was, where like his dad or something had guns, or somebody else had guns that he like stole them or took them or something, and then he went and shot up a school with it. So if nobody is allowed to have access, then the possibility of him taking that gun is not a thing. Baron said, because in Switzerland you got to go through hoops. What's wrong with that is my thing. Like, what's wrong with going through hoops? So you make sure. Look, I was just talking about this with a friend of mine. We were talking about doing your recertification for security classes. You got to go to the gun range. You got to shoot and all of this stuff. And there's people out there in every class. We're like, man, I don't know how you got your licenses. Like, I don't know why. Like how you passed the test the first time, let alone now to be doing your recertification. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how people pass these classes. So what's wrong with jumping through hoops to make sure the people that have guns legally, like you, like, other people, what's the harm in that? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to ensure that the people with the mental issues or whatever are not getting things to gun or access to these guns, or people who are, young kids or whatever, not having access to these guns. I feel like the argument, I feel like I'm crazy for having the argument, you know what I'm saying? When you see little kids get killed, you know what I'm saying? I seen a video of a little kid like taking a gun to like class. He couldn't have been no more than kindergarten, first, maybe second graders at the oldest. And like he shot like kids in the school and then like killed himself. Like these are little kids, man. These are little kids. Chanel said, I changed to not turning them in mid convo, but as far as a resolution, can't control people's actions, not only how it affects you, sad, but yeah. But why do it work in other countries and not here though? Like it works. Like sensible gun laws or gun reform or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is that works for them, it worked for them. Like why won't it work here is what I'm asking, I guess. Like whatever it is, why won't it work here? Barron said, nope, I'm serious about the natural right that was drafted into the foundation of this country. Us proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free. That's some bullshit. I'm not even responding to that. Andrew said, it's too late to reel it back in. People have them. People are going to be irresponsible. That's not true. Like I just told you, and like we played in the video, Australia had guns. Like Australia had plenty of guns. The Swiss have plenty of guns currently. Yet they're responsible with it. They make you go through training. They make you get certified. I don't know how often it is, every year, every 2 years, whatever. More than just even now in America, the CCW classes. Like you actually have to go. You used to actually have to go to an actual class, right? You do your class, you pass your test, you go get your license. It's good for I haven't did mine in such a long time. I don't know if it's 4 or 5 years or whatever. Then you're supposed to go and take a refresher class, and then you go and re get your new ID card. But now, at least in Ohio, I'm talking about. Now you don't even have to do your refresher class. You go do your class, you go to your thing. When it's time to renew, you just go up there, you just take your old one and renew it for another 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like so Angel, I disagree when you say I agree with you when you say that people are going to be irresponsible, but to say it's too late when you have mass shooting, like like I said, I don't know if y'all seen the entire video or whatever, but the prime minister said before he enacted that in 1996, they had it was 11 out of 15 years they had mass shootings, so that's almost one a year in Australia. And then 1990 from 1996 until 2020, they had zero, not one. Like to say, so to say it's too late to rule it in, it's not true. Like it's just something about this country or whatever you want to call it. Erica says something has to be done. I agree. Like, and look, I don't have the answers. I'm here to have a discussion with you guys. Like, I don't know, what it is or whatever. But like, to say that nothing should be done or all or nothing, I just can't agree with it because, like, I don't watch kids get killed. Like, I've seen it. Like, I got nieces and nephew. Like, I've seen it. Like, any of us watching this could have been in any supermarket in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? It could have, like I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit happens. So to say that nothing should be done or like, I just can't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Now handguns, if you want to have that argument, fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, and I know we splitting hairs at that point because it's high capacity handguns and all of that good stuff. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I completely understand that, but at the same time, like something got to be done though. Something can and has to be done. And to say, why do people want to kill people? It's the people that's the problem, not the gun. I agree with that, but like you said, people are going to be irresponsible no matter what. No matter, I mean, not even when it comes to killing people, just for being, man, people are just irresponsible altogether. You know, kids play in the street while cars are coming. Like that's irresponsible. Like, but they're gonna do it because that's what kids do. That's what people do. People stand in the street. Like it doesn't make sense, but they do it. Like the car can run you over. You know what I'm saying? But why are you in the street? Like it doesn't make sense. But people are going to be irresponsible. So I agree with you that the people are the problem. You know what I'm saying? But there's people all across the world. Like America's not the only country with people in it. My mother said I say the same thing. Aaron just said Americans are generally selfish and nuts. It's true. Chanel said there's always one. I think you're talking about in the recertification classes or what. Yes, that's what the conversation was. There's always one person where you just look like, like what are you doing? Like how are you in your recertification class for security? Like how did you pass the first time? Like I see people in there that have a hard time reloading their guns, like which is crazy to me. And I think he was saying that uh, the for anybody that mentioned the gun range, the part that you put your target on, like usually like a string or a rail. The guy was shooting so high that he was shooting like the rail, like nowhere near the target. Like how are you doing this? Like, how is that a possibility? Like is this the only time you shoot? Like you shoot at your security class and then never again for the year? Like what is this? Barron said it works in other countries because the government uh, does what they want to. America was founded on different principles. So you can't have it both ways though. You can't say that. Um, you know what? Fine, but a democracy is doing what the will of the people is, right? That's what it comes down to. Democracy is the people are in control. So if the majority of people say we want gun I'm gonna say refrain that we want gun reform it, then why hasn't it been done? Why hasn't it been done? I mean, clearly, when people want change, when you want Donald Trump to be out of the White House, or when you want to turn the Senate blue, or whatever the case is, when you want something done, you go do it. You get enough people, you sign a petition, you go support, whatever business or whatever you want them to survive the pandemic. Like, you go do all this stuff if you want it to, if you want it to happen, because the people are in control. So if it's just that simple, why won't people vote for it? Why won't people demand that their representatives uh, change the laws? It's not, you know what I'm saying, or add, make amendments to it. Like, it ain't like, uh, and for you, Baron, of all people to say that, to pretend like the Constitution is perfect, or what I'm saying, it was on these given rights and laws and foundations. You of all people should know how many times amendments have been, or I'm sorry, the Constitution has been amended. Right? It's plenty of them. You know what I'm saying? So don't pretend like everything that the founding fathers, their principles were perfect. And just said my CCW class wasn't great. Honestly, I feel like they just passed everyone. Yeah, that's an issue too. But that's another training type issue. Baron said an AR will make someone do a backflip though, but a 308 will send you on vacation. Handguns don't touch, and I'm cool with that. It's not the majority. That's the lie. I don't know how. What do you mean that's not the majority? What do you mean? Baron said, honestly, I'm cool with a couch gun for the house and handguns. But on guns now, not racism and sexism. We on guns. No, no, no. Don't tell me. First off, this is my show. Don't tell me to stay on topic. And secondly, why would that be any? Why would all amendments? So the entire Constitution is up for change, except for when it comes to guns. That's not like, how does that work? He said, you said the majority of people want guns gone. That's a lie. We'll find out. We're going to find out real soon now that the House of Representatives is blue, the presidency is blue, and the Senate is half and half with a blue person uh, to make the tiebreaker. And for the record, I didn't say that the majority of people want guns gone. If I did, then that was a mistake. But they want some type of a reform. They want some type of a change, some type of this ain't working, so we gotta do something different. That's all I'm saying. I'm an advocate for how, like, what I'm saying? It's the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. You know what I'm saying? Without doing nothing, like we haven't did nothing since 1999, since Columbine, or since Parkland, or since the Orlando shootings at the nightclubs, or Sandy Hook, or the Las Vegas shooting. Like, we've done nothing though. We've done nothing. I'm a proponent for doing something, because if you do nothing, then it's just going to be the same thing over and over. And I don't know about y'all, but personally, I'm tired of watching, kids and people in their 20s die for no reason. That goes for mass shootings. That go for uh, regular neighborhood shootings, all that stuff. Like, it's just ridiculous to me as a whole. Um, Baron said, I heard people with fullies on New Year's, they won't be able to take every gun. Of course not. And that's not what we're saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what the guy from Australia was saying, because they do still have shootings. They still do have murders. They still do have rapes and kidnaps and crime. Like, it's not about eliminating, because you're never going to be able to eliminate murders or homicides or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never going to be enough to eliminate it. He said, me too, but to solve it, every gun needs to be gone. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna play this video because maybe you didn't see it at the beginning. But the point is, so because you can't do it all, You should do nothing. Chanel said you can't get rid of every gun. I agree. I'm not talking about getting rid of. I'm speaking about doing something. And if getting rid of every gun is not the thing, then make Americans more responsible. Make them like the Swiss. Make them go to training. Teach them how to use guns responsibly. Teach them the importance of defending yourself and defending your country or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Without joining the army. You know what I'm saying? But do something though. Barron said then the U.S. will be the UK, and it'll be so. So how many people can you kill? The highest number. I'm gonna find this and I'm getting out of here. I want to know highest number of people killed. Mass knife attacks. All right, let's see. Let's go with the most recent one. All right, so they killed 8 people was the most recent one. You said the UK, so I'm thinking you talking about the 2017 London Bridge attack. It was a mass stabbing. 8 people were killed. A bunch of other people were injured, but 8 people were killed. I'm fine with the mass knifing. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, man. I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna get out of y'all here. Appreciate y'all joining me. Appreciate the conversation. Like I said, I'm not talking about Barron said 8 people versus 10 the other day with the gun. Yeah, but how often is that happening? You had a 2017 attack, a 2000 and that's in that country. That's in London. That's London. Before that, the next one was in Japan in 2016, and then 2014 was in China. You know what I'm saying? But still, that's 8 people once every however. You know what I'm saying? Like the semantics of it. I don't want to get into the semantics of it, but you can't tell me you can stab more people than you can shoot in any given time. Circumstances, of course. If I'm standing in a mosh pit of people and I pull out a knife and start stabbing people, of course I can stab and kill a bunch of people quickly. But in a supermarket, if you start stabbing people when you're not standing on top of each other, it's going to be hard pressed to kill 10 people with a knife while people are running away. Not impossible, but hard pressed. Hard pressed. Chanel said the right people need to stay in office. I agree with that. Barron said you remind me of hosts on TV who push their own agenda. Yeah, it's my show. Yeah, I can do what I want to. It's the beauty of it. Knives are deadlier. In that case, turn in your guns. Swords are legal. Go buy a sword. Go turn in all your guns and go buy a sword then. Go buy a sword. Go buy all the knives you want. For every gun you turn in, you get a sword. Fine. Go do it. All right, man. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all joining me. Join us Sunday, 4 o'clock for a short version of Conversation with Ebony J. She'll have a special guest. Yeah, that should be a good, fun show. It should be fun, very entertaining. So come check it out. Then after round, if you can, stay for our show at 5:30. We'll probably push it back a little bit. Usually 5:30 we start anyway. So 5:30 on Sunday. Look, we're gonna have y'all whole evening, so just be prepared from 4 to let's say 7ish. Let's go ahead and lock in with us. All right. Y'all take it easy out there. Be safe. Look out for Barron, apparently, and all of his guns and swords that he refused to turn over to the government. So take it easy out there. Be safe. Stay aware. Salute to the city as always. Ronald Reagan did sell crack, and I'm out.
Not a failure. We had a massacre at a place called Port Arthur 17 years ago, and there have been none since.
0 gun massacres? Hold on. Did gun control actually work?
It stopped one thing. That could also be a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, it was just their mass shootings disappeared.
But there were so few of them. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yes. Mass shootings were rare anyhow.
Exactly. They probably barely had a massacre before 1996.
There were about 13 in the previous 18 years.
In the 18 years before Port Arthur, there were 13 mass shootings.
Yes.
Almost one a year.
Yes. I was unaware they had that many. Mass being what, more than 2 people at a time?
More than 4.
More than 4. Okay.
Whoop-de-doo.
But perhaps there were other non-whoop-de-doo side effects.
The homicide rate involving the use of guns has declined significantly by factors of up to 50 and 60%, and the incidence of youth suicides involving guns has declined dramatically.
Whoop-de-doo.
Help me out here, Philip.
Homicides with guns went down. Suicide with guns also went down. 0 mass shootings.
What did happen? Australia still has murders, rapes, and robberies, last I checked.
Unless you can get rid of 100% of crime, it's not worth doing at all.
Well, put it this way. It's illegal to have crack cocaine anywhere in the United States. Do you think if somebody really wants it, they can get their hands on crack cocaine in America?
So unless we can completely get rid of drugs, there's no point in having drug laws at all.
Let me think about that for a minute. Well, I guess effectively, it doesn't work.
You can't argue with Philip. Even his logic is bulletproof.
Well, let me put it to you this way. There are more drownings in backyards where they have pools. If they don't have a pool, there are no drownings in backyards, okay? So the U.S. has a very high number of guns. Therefore, there is going to be more chances for somebody to be killed with a gun.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's my point.